comes. It is finally time to start the engine swap of my Miata. That's my 99 Miata. That's the Honda K24 that I'm going to put in it. And if you watched the last video, the build overview video, at the end, I kind of teased what we're going to do. That's the next phase. I'm Brad. Welcome back to Brad's Car Mods. That's Sam. We're going to get started on this engine swap. Let's do it. This is the Honda K24A that's going in the Miata. It's out of a 2004 through 2008 Honda Accord. In the States, it would be an Acura, but in Japan, they don't have Acura brand. This is actually a JDM engine that I imported through JDM of Houston. It's got about 100,000 kilometers or 60,000 miles on it. So pretty much a brand new motor for Honda. Anyway, we're going to take all the parts off of this that we don't need, and also just take the time and kind of upgrade some of the parts. And the goal is to obviously put that in the Miata. As part of this build series, and it is going to be a series, I wanted to do something cool with the merch. So I've always had kind of the standard Brad's Car Mod shirts. Sam's wearing one right now. That's the standard one. I think it looks good. I came up with this design. It's got my Miata on it. KSWAP project. Got some Japanese cherry blossom tree behind it. I think it was really cool. Short sleeve in black, long sleeve t-shirt in black, and a hoodie that's also got the design on the back. And then 2 new hats. So here's a regular style hat that I love. And flat bill if you're into flat bills. Here you go. Here's what the regular hat looks like. I love it. If you want to go get any of this stuff, go to bradscarmods.com. All the stuff is live as of this video. And so if you want to support the channel and me directly, that's the best way to do it, besides liking and subscribing, of course. But these shirts, Sam likes them. Sam likes them. All right, let's talk about what we're doing here. All right, like I said, this is going to be a series. So part 1 is going to be just kind of stripping this down and taking off the parts that we don't need and upgrading any parts that make sense to upgrade while the engine is out of the car. This is going to be a full engine swap. So on that note, Sam and I are not professional mechanics. We've never done an engine swap before. This is not a how-to guide. This is a watch 2 bumbling idiots try to figure it out guide. Most of the parts that we're using are from K-Power Industries, and the reason why is because A, they make good parts, B, they've done a lot of the R&D for everything, and therefore they have a full set of instructions. This is not an installation guide because this is an NB1, a 99, but they have parts for NA, NB, NC now platform. They just come out with NC stuff. And so unless you have a 99 with some of the mods that I've done and things like that, like this, it wouldn't apply to you anyway. Better to just go through their guide, which has some general areas and some specific areas. It's really good. Plus, they have really great technical support. It's not even sponsored. I'm just saying they've done all the work for these engine swaps, and the kit is really good. And so that's what we're going to use. And so the goal here is this is the plan. So we'll strip the K24, we'll build the K24 back up. We're going to pull the BP4W, which is the engine that's in the Miata now. We'll swap the transmission over from the BP4W to the K24. That's where K-Power Industries is coming in. They have an adapter plate. We'll clean the engine bay while it's out because it's disgusting. I saw some comments in the build overview that said the engine bay was disgusting, and that's because I have pretty much focused on just building the car functionally, and only recently even like polished the outside. But I also knew this had an engine swap coming up. That's the perfect time to scrub the engine bay. So while everything is out of the car, we're gonna clean it really good. That way when the new engine goes back in, it's in a nice clean environment. While it's out, the exhaust that I'm gonna be running, and also the exhaust and intake swap sides just because of this is a Mazda, that's a Honda. They're just different cars. And therefore, I need to swap out the subframe of this car. So I'm going to be going with a subframe that's designed by K-Power Industries to go in here. So we'll do a subframe swap as well. And then put the K24 in its new home. And lastly, wiring and plumbing and dyno. So not exactly part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but using this kind of guide, we'll go through and create a series out of that, 4 or 5 parts, I don't know, something like that. So make sure you subscribe because this is only going to be part 1, and part 1 is tearing down the engine. So let's tear down the engine. Okay, first things first, we need to take all of the stuff off. What are we taking off? We're going to replace the exhaust manifold with the race exhaust. We don't have that yet from K-Power Industries, so that does need to come off though. And then on the front, so this is the power steering pump. That's got to come off because we're going to a depowered rack. And we're going to replace this with an idler pulley. This is the JDM market, so the Japanese version alternator. We're going to swap that out. So that's got to come off. That's got to come off. This is the water pump. That's got to come off. Also, on this side, to be clear, this came out of a front engine, front wheel drive Honda. So the engine was sideways in the car. The intake manifold was toward the front, and the throttle body is back here. So this will be toward the front of the Miata. That's the back. So this is going to be swapped around to where, so this whole manifold will come off. And we'll have K-Power Industries manifold on here, and the throttle body will be up here now. I think we've pulled everything off the back that we need to pull off. We'll find out later on, of course, but for now, we're gonna start pulling all this stuff off. Figure out what wrench you need and don't break anything. I'm gonna pull this off, and you can maybe pull that off and just get that out of the way so it's easier. Hoses like that, we can start pulling off.
I'm just gonna take this off first, I guess.
Yeah. With the manifold?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Another Miata.
What are you starting with? Just wanna wrench it?
Yeah.
All right. Most of these are gonna be like a 10 or a 12 millimeter. You can figure it out. I got my socket, you get your own. I think we should decide now. Is it motor or engine? I say engine swap, but then when I'm talking about it, like right now, rusty bolts on the motor, I call it motor. Am I crazy?
I mean, I would say this is a motor and that's an engine because it's got more stuff hooked up to it.
So an engine is more of the complete.
Yeah.
You think engine is the complete system versus
I mean, because look, it's
motor
got
is just the
all these and this and all the wiring and stuff.
So that's an engine.
Yes.
Because that's an engine bay.
Yeah, and then this with nothing on it.
Just the motor.
Just a motor.
Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is it engine? Is he right? Engine is the complete system in the engine bay with all of the coolant and wiring harness and all that stuff, battery hooked up. Is that the engine? And this is the motor with all the stuff off? Or does it matter? Is it both engine and motor? I don't know. I think it probably doesn't matter, but for some reason, I switch between the two when I'm talking about stuff. I don't know why. That's, hey.
Nice.
The light works. Right here's one of the reasons why this thing flows so well. This is factory. See in there how smooth those ports are? That Miata is not like that at all. So you can see actually the valves in there. I gotta admit, they look kind of gross. Look at those two in the middle. Yeah, those look pretty gross. So we may be getting into this a little bit farther. More room. I don't know, man. Those look pretty corroded, like rusty almost on the end. Like it's been, I don't want to say sitting in water, but it definitely doesn't look great to me. All right, we got the water pump off, and it's tough to, hand me that, this one should work. Maybe tough to see. Oh yeah, you can, never mind. You can see just clear as day. Those valves look nice and rusty. So I am going to take pictures, and I'm going to reach out to JDM of Houston and ask them. I know this thing has like a 90-day warranty. Looking down, you can't see on the camera, but looking down in on top of the pistons up there, the tops of the pistons look rusty. So we're gonna pause here. I'm gonna take some pictures and send it to those guys and see what they say. Okay, that's it for part one. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I'm gonna send pictures and see what they say, and make sure you subscribe to find out what happens in part two. We're gonna find out and see if they will give me a new engine, motor, if they're gonna give me a new motor, and if we're gonna have to start over, or if they're gonna say I'm screwed and we'll take this apart farther than I had planned and clean up the head and the cylinders and stuff. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to swap pistons, and that's more work than I was planning on doing. You'll find out when I find out, I guess. See you in part two. Okay, you ready? This is our disappointed sad face. Actually, that's gonna be the thumbnail. Look at it again.